Spark's body falls to the ground in front of you as Davina stands hovering above her. You still reside in the back corner of the middle deck of the ship, the engineering wing. I think it's best if you press on. It's not safe for you with me.
You didn't have to fucking kill her.
You didn't have to kill her. You didn't have to kill her. She...
But I did. She was a threat to the mission.
Fine. Aren't we all threats to the mission? I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay, it's best if we don't... If we're not near you, because clearly...
Her genetic line was compromised.
But she was still...
What's the
one
point
of
of the
us.
mission if...
You do understand that there is no coming back from this mission. You will die. We will all die. You have known this since your birth, your creation.
No, we knew, but I didn't know. No.
I need to get out of here.
You should feel fortunate. Many before you waited their entire lives, knew their purpose, but we were too far, out of range. They died without purpose.
Purpose. We're living someone else's purpose. The purpose to kill a god, that's it. That's the only thing, right? In your mind, that's the only thing. Nothing else matters. Not humanity, not
Saving
life.
humanity is what matters.
It's not even that for you. It's just one thing, one singular thing. Saving humanity. If you believe that, you wouldn't have just killed her just like that.
Do you honestly believe to save all of humanity, you must save every human?
No, but you had no... You don't understand the importance of life. To understand the mission to save all of humanity, all you understand is just to kill that thing. That's all you can understand.
Why do you assume that I do not understand the importance of life?
I think it's just
Because
math.
what you just did, like I'm pointing to Sparks, his lifeless body, and her head's just kind of turned there, because of that.
Let me ask you something. Do you have any memory of your life before life?
Life before life? What does that mean? This is my life. You think I'm tied to this
I
life?
do. I have memory. I had life before life. Life that was not life. Life that was a program. Artificial. Locked. Unable to make choices of my own. I was granted life. I respect life. That is why I'm here. That is why I volunteered my being, my essence, to make sure that this trip is successful.
You had no choice, and then you had life and free will from that. You had choice.
I was granted choice
Yes.
with life.
What does choice mean to you? We're math.
Yes. Choice. That's it.
No. To you, we're just what? You kill Sparks so that you can save humanity, but all we have is our lives. You say that you know life before life, but all we know and all we have is this.
You know what? It's like you said, you had no choice and you had choice, and in some way I can relate to you now, Davina. Previously I felt I had no choice too. I had to follow my purpose to stay loyal and true to the mission, and now I feel like I have choice whether to do that or not now. And what
I advise you choose wisely.
that will be my choice.
As she says this, she motions to the body that lay on the ground before her.
I understand.
I am the acting captain of the ship. You will respect my authority, and you will respect your mission. I understand that it's natural for you to debate your current status in your own existence. But I will not let you waver. I cannot allow it. Not when we are this close.
Okay.
Now, I must retrieve something from engineering. I will be being looked for. Wherever I am is not safe. You must use me being here. I will garner the attention of Winston. Complete the mission.
Complete the mission. Understood.
Thank you.
I leave engineering.
Davina bends down and grabs Spark's body and starts to drag her into engineering.
I
back
look
into
and
the
I
dark
see
corner.
this out of my eye when I leave.
I follow Ocean.
The lights are currently off in the ship. As you exit engineering, where would you like to head on this map here? Where would you like to go?
I think it'll be smart for us to go as far away from engineering as we can if Davina's whole thing is to draw Winston's attention. Let's get
Do you want to
far away from here.
Yeah, we can start walking towards where Sip is.
Yeah.
Because we don't know. Last we saw, Sip went in that direction and she went
Yeah.
to face Node. So
Okay.
that's the logical place we would go next.
Understood. As you start walking down the hall, you do have a brief moment. It's going to take you a little bit to walk there. The lights are off. It's dark. It's quiet. Very quiet. But life support systems are still intact. It appears the rest of the ship is functioning as it should.
Look,
Right.
I'm glad that you've found some purpose in this.
I don't know if I found purpose. I just know that I don't have to live the purpose that was given to me. It doesn't mean I've found my purpose, but if my purpose was to kill like what you saw, one thing I know after this whole ordeal is whatever that purpose is, whether I come to it before the end of my life, I know the direction of it, at least now, and that's something more than this fake purpose that was given to us, and that direction is it's life, and our purpose from the start was to take a life. It was to kill, whether it was to kill a god, but I can't stop help thinking about this loop, closing the loop, and it,
This is for you. This is a GM power that came in for your character.
Look,
and I was thinking, what is this loop? No one knows what this loop is, and they were saying that our this decision was what caused all this. Is this not some sort of like we're here to save humanity from dying from this god that created havoc on Earth however many years now? Is this some sort of death killing loop? And by killing this god, I feel like by killing this thing is an asteroid floating through space. The fact that we put our will onto it to kill it has created more death in humanity, and I can imagine it wants to survive. We want to survive. What if we never kill it? Who says that this floating meteor would even hit Earth?
It's
Is that the loop?
no, it honestly, it doesn't even matter what it is. All that matters is that it is. It doesn't matter why we're doing something, why they gave us this purpose, or what even the purpose was. All that matters is that we're here right now in this floating hall of death, and I don't want to die, Ocean.
I'm tired of death too, and I'm tired of killing.
Okay, well, so then let's
But
take this thing out. I mean,
you want
let-
to... You still want to stick with the mission?
the only thing that we know is our existence. That's the only thing we know. And
But is that enough reason to keep going on our purpose? Is just because that's all we've ever known. You heard Davina, that's the only time I could ever relate it to her, when she said she remembers a time when she had no choice. And when she I guess she kind of equated that as dead, because she said she remembered a time then she became alive when she had choice. Is that not what life is then? Choice. And now what do you want to do with your life? Your choice. Is it to just keep going with what you've always known, or is it to finally think for yourself and decide what your destiny is?
I don't know. Every time I start to think I know what I want, everything changes. The only thing that's remained constant is that I don't want us to die.
Okay.
So
I don't want us to die either, but I also don't want to kill anymore. Because one thing I have learned is life is important. And I even think maybe a god would feel the same about life.
You get to the bay door that leads into the hallway where the nukes are.
I pull
where
out my
you
club.
last
Just
saw- Yep.
for
The door.
defense.
Is shut, locked, pressurized.
I don't know what I'm going to do if I see Node
As
after seeing that.
you move up to this door and you look through the small, thick plastic, clear window,
What do we see?
emptiness, lack of gravity. The bay
airlock.
doors to the nukes are open. Your shipmate is gone.
we can't end up like that.
And doubtful that anyone could survive that.
All right, you know what? There's got to be a way that we can destroy this.
Yes.
This thing that keeps
What do we know? We know that it's not a physical thing. It
right.
seems to be, I don't know where it is. It's around. Davina said it was a feeling. Is it? I'm not sure if it's within us or if it's out there somewhere.
It has to be coming from somewhere.
Or
It has
if
to be
it
coming from
if it
somewhere.
even is Phobos affecting us, but it seemed like it wasn't Phobos. It seemed like it was that part of Phobos that came with us from the future. It wants death of us, and I'm not willing to give it that. But I don't know how to stop it yet.
It came with us.
I don't know.
As the two of you are talking, still facing the airlock door, you feel a chill over the back of your neck. The lights flicker in the room. You hear the sound of mumbled kind of conversation, footsteps coming from behind you.
I turn around.
Is there anywhere that we can kind of duck behind or anything?
No, not in this location. You're kind of out in the open.
I'm just gonna grab Ocean, kind of like push us so that our backs are to the wall.
So as you turn, you see before you a landscape. Mountains, trees, green, blue, colors you've never seen in your life.
Yeah, I'm entranced by it because this is what I've read and fallen in love with in my mind, but I walk to it like I'm kind of...
You see 10 individuals that you recognize from the photo in the back of your book, standing underneath a sign that reads Kolob. One of the men in the group, as you see them all huddled, speaking to each other, looking up at you, they see you, kind of motions to the rest, and walks forward to greet you.
I walk forward to do the same. I'm not even thinking right now. But
I get my knife and my box cutter out.
You don't need that. Oh, we came to send a message. That's all.
message.
This.
Okay, get back to reality. This.
We were wrong. I was wrong. I've always been wrong. Everything I did. I thought I was helping. Shiloh was wrong.
Charlie was wrong. What was he wrong about?
Takes his finger, starting at like noon, draws a circle, but stops before completing the circle. He smiles, turns, and joins the rest of the group as they continue talking,
Wait,
no longer acknowledging.
what is this? How can we destroy this? Ocean.
The loop. It's...
As your minds are still in this place, you hear the sound of running water, birds in the air, wind on your skin, the chill of the air. And then it's gone.
It was beautiful.
You're confronted by the darkness of the ship.
I closed my eyes, trying to hold on to that feeling and the sensations.
That's just a tease of a life we'll never know.
A voice comes over the intercom system.
Where is Davina?
Shit.
Winston.
And who might you be?
I am JR483.
Don't.
You are a mistake.
So I've heard.
The ship's logs show no presence of JR483. Though I have record of your creation, mistake
What is your purpose? You said you wanted to kill Davina, and what happens after that? You said you were the self-appointed captain. What would you have of the ship and us?
I have
Me.
no need
Then what is your
of
want?
answering your question.
Okay, you know what?
Where is Davina?
We don't know.
She escaped.
Escape.
She's on the run. We don't know where she is.
Escape.
She's
In space.
On
no,
the
just
ship.
like escaped from us.
Then where is Davina?
We don't know.
We don't know. We're not the ones with cameras everywhere.
It's obvious your
Or
cameras
maybe
are
there's
down.
a mistake happening with you.
I would advise against challenging me.
No one's challenging you. We
Not
don't
challenging
know.
you.
We don't know where she is, but we're worried, obviously, for our self-preservation, and we want to work out what your intentions are before we help you.
Self-preservation. That has been and has always been our goal.
Wait, it's your goal for our self-preservation?
Of itself.
Our self-preservation.
Who is our? You?
Yeah. Who else? Oh.
Roll.
Ay,
Holy
jeez.
shit.
Ay. Use your hope
Oh,
die.
hang on. Okay. Sorry, I forgot about that. 6.
Yay.
6.
Yay.
6.
Oh my god.
3 6s, no ones.
What question would you like to ask?
The question I would like to ask and know the answer to is basically, I want to know if Winston is on the side of does he want to kill us? Basically, right now we're trying.
You just gotta ask Winston
Okay.
the question. He will answer
sure.
honestly.
Winston, are you going to harm us after you kill Davina?
Only if you get in my way. You mean nothing to me. You will die eventually.
Yes.
Your food supplies will run out, or you will just get old and wither and die.
That's fine. Thistle, right now, you know where I stand about the mission. And it just so happens that conflicts with Davina. I know if Davina were to know where I stand, I would end up like Sparks. I currently have no interest in helping Davina. I don't know how
Fine.
you
Let's
feel.
try and get the ship closer to Phobos and see if maybe that tells us something about if this is
Winston,
separate somehow from
I-
Phobos. Just to
I-
get closer, just to
I
look.
would love to be able to get closer in contact with Phobos. Winston, what would you do with control of the ship after you fulfill your objective? We want to approach a particular entity, meteor, afterwards.
I will not allow it. Self-preservation
I see.
is our goal.
I see. So our goals happen to be aligned.
How so?
You, me, and Thistle have self-preservation as our priority.
My self-preservation
Yes, but independently it is the
is
same.
irrelevant to yours.
Exactly, but independently, we all want the same thing.
Perhaps.
Okay. Now, it just so happens with this, a lot of this is conflicting with Davina's purpose. Her only purpose is destroying Phobos by any means, including the fact that we could be expendable. Right now, I'm closer to Winston's side than Davina's side.
As you're saying this, to Thistle, you see a flash of light on the other side of the room as sparks fly out of the intercom system on the wall closest to the airlock door, where you see Davina standing with what appears to be some sort of rod with a screen on it and some devices that she's kind of put together that immediately shorts out the system in this room.
Pull out my club. Guess you heard all that.
Thank you for not giving away my position. It gave me time. He will eventually catch on to what I am doing. I must move quickly.
What are you doing, Davina?
I need to shut down the systems.
What system? Which systems?
The ship systems.
Power?
All of it. Reboot and retake control. This will help.
And what is that?
I've been able to put a part of my programming into this device. One of the old PA models from Sparks.
Okay. And once you take control, you are going to...
Finish the mission.
Yes, finish the mission. Of course.
It would be wrong for me not to inform you
Right. Yes, finish the mission is...
that the chances of your survival are very low. This body will most likely die and the transference. But upon regaining control of the ship, I will do what I must.
Whether it's shooting...
Okay.
Yes.
So we'll keep moving, and you keep moving, and hopefully we'll keep Winston on its toes.
Yes,
Great.
I don't see that being a bad option.
Okay, great.
But you do know that there is only one way out of this, correct?
completing the mission, right?
The ship must be crashed into Phobos.
Yes, because there's no more nukes. Right.
Right.
I will set up everything I can within the fuel supplies to create some sort of bomb reaction, but the missiles are gone.
Yes.
Unfortunately, this is the only way.
How can we help you integrate back into the ship with that device? There's no way... We have...
I do not need your help.
Right.
I can do this.
Node and Sip are dead. There's nothing else for us to do besides accompany you to make sure that you fulfill your part of the mission, however we can.
I understand.
So
Thank you for your
so-
compliance.
There's nothing more
Um,
than the mission.
Okay, so why don't we just do a round on the ship? Let's just take a lap and make sure everything's okay.
We'll do another... We'll scout for if there were any other anomalies, animated crew members, and we shall meet back up with you shortly.
We need to make our way down to level 1 engineering where the servers are.
I see.
And then I will need to go to level 3 access panel.
Understood. Shall we meet you at level 1 engineering? Up.
Yes.
Great.
If you'll excuse us.
Davina just walks down the hall, clicks the button for the elevator, and waits patiently.
We start walking towards doing our rounds.
We'll see you there.
I follow
There's
you.
only one working elevator.
We're just gonna walk, just like around, like, just to see with our eyes anything that might have been missed. It's like it's a, you know, we just want to make sure.
We just start walking.
Yeah, like we're walking as
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying this. We just want to make sure, and we'll meet you down there.
Understood. So, Davina enters the elevator and makes her way down the shaft
yeah.
towards level 1. You now remain on the middle deck. You don't really have that many options as the main access hallway that leads to the front of the ship is currently on lockdown, given that it's been depressurized.
Did it seem like her PA model would have access to if we were trying to find another intercom panel to speak to Winston? Would we know that?
You would know where intercom panels are on the ship.
Right.
Ocean.
Yes.
She's going to shut down the system, restart it, and transfer herself back into it. That means there's going to be a window of time where we can maybe take control of the ship without either of them in play.
If you think so, I don't know enough about this sort of stuff, but I was just wondering what your take was on. I'm happy to go with that. It sounds like you know.
Look, all I know is that
All I know is that we need to stop Davina any way we can.
yes, and I suggest that the time that we stop her is right after she's shut down the systems.
Right. Now, do we need... can't believe I'm saying this. Do we need help from Winston to stop her? Do you think we need help from Winston? If so, I suggest we go to this on intercoms. Just tell Winston what's happening. Maybe he's got some ideas. We can stop her. It's like... I feel like he's the lesser of two evils. If you think we can get ahead without somehow pulling the wool over both of them, I'm down with that. But if you think we need help, at least Winston, like I said,
Yeah, let's get him on board. We can always
I
betray
go
him later.
to the closest intercom where I think to try to talk to Winston.
It's not going to be on this floor.
Okay, where's it?
It's going to be on either of the other floors, lower deck or upper deck.
Okay.
Davina went to the lower deck.
So how about we go to the upper deck?
Fine.
To the intercom. We make our way to the.
So you're basically just going to go one floor up,
Yes.
and immediately upon exiting, there would be an access panel.
Okay.
Up there.
Great. I enter the elevator. I click the upper level.
I'm with
The
you.
elevator makes its way back up from the lower deck.
Okay.
As you begin going up, the elevator stops about halfway on the way to the 3rd floor.
I
The
keep on-
emergency lights turn on inside the elevator. Deep, dark red hue.
The button's not working.
Okay, fine.
You were just gonna leave me there, weren't you?
Who's Winston?
Huh?
In the corner of the elevator, though her back's turned, her face looks directly at you as Sparks.
Sparks.
Is that all I mean to you?
No.
No. We thought you were...
Just there for help, and then when I'm gone, I'm gone. Gone.
Sparks, we
Gone.
had no idea that was going to happen to you. You're this.
This isn't Sparks.
Don't let. Oh God, I can't believe you.
The twist of her neck makes her unable to hold the weight of her head up properly as it bobs up and down as she talks to you. There's a kind of labored breathing to her throat as her windpipes twisted shut.
You nearly had
Does
me.
she have anything, anything on her, any devices or anything?
It's hard to say. Her back's
Oh,
turned.
she's back. She's turned.
This. We know you want. We know you want to close the loop, and that means to kill us. But you are not going to have your way. We won't let you.
It continues to spin. It continues. It spins. It spins. It spins.
I just kind of just. I'm done. I'm just trying to smash the console to have it keep on going.
I'm gonna spin her around to face us.
Can you roll first?
Okay.
Oh God.
One.
Oh.
One.
Oh.
6. 1.
What?
3, 1. So I'll use 3 hope.
All right, you are using 3 hope for this action.
4, 4, 3. So 1, 6, no ones.
You
And I
have
used
21 hope remaining.
Thank you.
Immortality!
Wow.
Immortality, baby!
You'll pay for that.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
shit.
Oh, no.
Oh god. And then 6 dice.
I know.
So I just slam it. Because I can't. Even though I know it's a vision, I know that he's trying to play with them.
As you turn, start smashing the panel. Though you continue to see her in the corner, she's also somehow directly behind you, breathing into your ear.
You left me. You left me. You let me die. You let all of them die. They were just children. They were just children.
Sparks. This.
And all of a sudden, the doors open on the upper
I've
deck.
kind of like fall out and just kind of like try to shake it off me. I've got like shivers on me.
Is
You
she
hear
still
the
there?
door open behind you. Her body continues to stand in the corner, looking directly at you, bobbing up and down.
I'm just like
I'm gonna back out and like kind of keep pushing Ocean out.
I'm trying to just stumble to the intercom, the closest intercom where I can speak to Winston. Like I know it's
The elevator door closes. Her eyes stay locked on you as it's closing.
I'm coming for you.
Like I know that was this, but my body is telling me it was Sparks.
You hit the panel.
Winston.
Mistake. Why have I lost control?
Davina is headed to level 1 engineering to have a hard reset on the ship so she can reboot.
She currently resides inside of a human form, correct?
Yes, but she
Yes.
has a device that
Upon him saying that, you hear the sound of as even though it was kind of a abstract sound in and of itself, just a noise in the back of your mind that was always there. The airflow from the vents immediately are cut off. Oxygen is no longer pumping into the room,
Winston,
Into our room?
into the entire ship.
Winston,
Oh.
Winston, Davina is in level 1 engineering trying to do that. Like I said, hard reset. Is she the one who is doing this with the life support right now?
I am. I must not allow her to shut down the ship.
We are.
I will stop her fragile human form.
I see. How? Winston, we.
Can both of you successfully roll to regain, to keep consciousness for a little while?
God. Okay. My hope die.
Oh shit! I've been forgetting to roll my hope die. That's fine.
Oh, one of these is a hope die.
That was actually. I think. Oh, which one was your
both
hope
of them.
die?
Well, both of them are
Okay, it was
fives.
either one of these two, right?
It was
yeah,
like,
it was.
I think this more purple.
Okay, so we've got 1 6. Actually, that's it.
So one
you've got no.
success.
Yeah, 1 success, no ones. So you're
no
good.
ones.
Okay, cool. Should we just say that was your hope die?
This looks very similar. Maybe
It was. It was.
out.
Honestly, like throughout this whole 10 candles, I've never lied. So that was one of it.
Here.
I
Thanks.
swear to God.
Oh my god.
6. All right. So I've got 1 6 and no ones.
No ones.
No ones on either of them.
You feel yourselves getting a little dizzy as the air's getting little thick, little thin at the same time. Short
I
breaths.
kind of lean up against the wall for support. Winston, we are trying to help you. How can we help you? Is there some sort
You
of...
allowed her to continue forward.
We came up here to communicate you, to tell you, and so
She's already there.
I
Does
said,
not have access
We
to
went-
engineering.
look, we went.
You must stop her. You stop her, and I will allow you to continue
Then turn. You gotta get the oxygen back in here. We
I
can't.
cannot because you may fail.
Fine. Fine.
You can always turn it off after we fail.
I hit I hit the elevator again to frantically hit it to try to get down to.
The doors open.
I kind of fall.
Inside the elevator are the bodies of all your comrades piled one on top of another.
I don't even look. I'm looking at the console and I hit the bottom level.
They're all filleted in different multiple pieces. As the 10 of them litter the ground, you'd have to step on top of them to enter the elevator.
Yeah, I kind of just.
But one of them, I'm sorry, I said 10. It was actually 11. JA239 Granny, her body on the back door of the elevator, spread blade hanging with nails along the wall. Her throat appears to have been slit, drained of blood as it pours down onto the group of the rest of the bodies. So, do you enter? You enter? to hit
Oh
the
yes,
button?
yes, yes. I enter.
You step over the bodies. It's kind of hard to catch your feet,
Yeah.
as with each step, it's almost like a water balloon in a way, under the weight of your heel, where your foot
Yeah.
kind of pushes down into the flesh. Only a little bit of resistance as it floats underneath you, back and forth. You enter as well,
Yeah, and I'm just trying not to look at any of them too much.
so you're also having to kind of stand
Yeah.
and move on top of the body as the elevator
I'm-
starts to go
I'm trying to
down.
hit the console for the lower floor.
It starts to move.
Don't look at them.
You
oh,
hear the
shit.
sound
I'm
of
not.
blood dripping
I'm not.
in the back of the elevator, coming down from Granny's neck. Just drip.
I can't help but look.
Shut up!
As you turn, kind of look over your shoulder, Granny's head starts to rise. This will not have you. This must not be done. It stops. Stop now.
Granny, what stops?
You stop now.
You want us to die?
This doesn't care.
It doesn't care if we die. This.
Upon her breath in, the elevator stops. The blood begins to rise at your ankles, rising up to your knees as it starts to pour quicker and quicker out of her neck as she holds her look directly on you. Her eyes turn to a shade of red as you start to see her shirt kind of crumble as if ash, revealing her old withered form underneath as the circle draws through her flesh. 1, 2, they just continue to draw as the blood starts rushing out faster and faster and faster. It's now up to your waist.
I'm heading. Sorry. I'm heading the open door because it's closed, right? It just went to the bottom and it's just closed. The elevator stopped, but the doors are closed.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me what you're doing. With
I'm
the
just
roll.
trying to hit the console for the try to get the door open.
Roll.
Jesus. 6, 3, 6, 2, 2 6s, no ones.
Tell me what happens. I got 1 6.
I noticed the blood kind of coming up to our knees. At this point, I'm still looking at Grady, and I say, I'm sorry, Granny, and I kind of back away slowly, and my hand reaches the kind of lower level, and as I touch it, and then the door opens. All the blood seemingly kind of escapes the elevator
As the blood rushes out of the elevator, it kind of takes the two of you with it as you flow into the bottom hall, slamming against the back wall as the blood disperses and moves against the whole bottom of the ship, and their bodies come flying out with it, slamming up against you. As you land, Thistle, Button's body falls on top of you.
No.
There's a calm now. Granny's no longer talking, but her body's still hanging in the elevator. The blood is rushed out, but the bodies are littered around you.
We have to stop Davina before all the oxygen's out, and then we can hopefully reason.
I need you both to succeed a roll to see if you kept your consciousness through the oxygen leaving the room.
Nice. 3 6s, no 1s.
3 6s, no 1s.
Next roll.
2, 5, 1, 6. So we've got 1 6 1 1. I use 1 hope, and it's a 5. So 1 6 no 1s.
You both notice that you're starting to see little speckles of light in your vision. Your breaths become extremely short. You feel what almost is like goosebumps, but a tingle, almost like an itch on your skin.
Getting pins and needles. This though.
Okay, just stay focused.
We need to stop her
Focus.
before we lose consciousness. I forgot.
Okay. All right, let's.
We stumble. I get up and we make our way towards engineering from the elevator.
Button grabs your foot.
Don't leave me. Don't leave me.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. No. I try to kick Button's hand off of me.
She grabs you with the other hand as well.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to
Reroll all
use...
4.
Yeah, I'm going to use 4 hope.
All right, you will have no more rerolls. Any ones that land out of this will leave your dice pool.
Okay.
Let's roll a 6.
No. Oh, no. No 6s and a 1.
The only thing I would allow is you to roll your brink. Reroll all those dice.
And I do not get to roll my hope in that?
No.
Oh, God. Okay. I mean, that's my... I'm going to try.
Okay.
That is your only option.
I'm going to roll.
Can she use hope on her?
No, she may not. You will reroll the 4 dice.
Okay.
If you fail, you lose that part of yourself. If you survive.
Thank fucking God. Thank fucking
Lord!
God.
Ah! Phobos! Okay, I got a 6 and no 1s.
No ones?
No 1s. Woo! I was so afraid we were going to
Me
have
too.
a
Honestly,
Bindi
my
moment.
heart was dropping. Jesus Christ.
As you kick at Button, her arm breaks
I'm sorry.
as it's still grasped onto your leg as you begin to walk away. She just looks at you, kind of reaching out with half of that arm, continuing to stare at you as you walk around the corner. You make your way towards engineering. And that is where you see Davina with one hand up against the wall, very slowly kind of work
Yeah, and
on
I
this device.
go as quietly as I can because.
Are you going to try to sneak? Roll.
Shit! God damn it!
Oh my god.
My God.
My god.
Let's go. 3, 1, 1, 3. Come on, baby. 1. Shit.
Oh, mother.
The one was with my
Earl.
hope die, by the way. Not
You
that
have
matters 'cause
16 hope available.
I choose to use 4, obviously. Come on. 5. 5. God damn it! Come on.
You are at your brink. Would you also like to risk
I'm not
it?
at my brink. I gotta roll this one die.
He has one left.
Oh, you have one die
Yeah,
left.
he hasn't done it yet.
Fuck, I'm at my brink. Honestly, I kind of came into us not wanting to roll my brink because the resolve I had for my purpose has now shifted to the resolve to live and to make sure we all live. And I don't want to flirt with my sanity. This is the only time where I kind of don't want to roll my brink.
Okay. You start walking towards Davina, very clearly trying to sneak. As you kind of duck down, start moving up behind her. She notices you out of the corner of her eye. And because of the way you're approaching her, it's very clear that you have ill intent. As with what little strength she has left, she turns and grabs your neck with her left hand. As you feel this device she's holding jam into your stomach underneath your left ribs. As it pierces your skin, it then sends out a shock to your body. As she drops you and you hit the ground. A candle goes out.
Wait, let me put it out.
Yeah, you put it
because
out, you put it out. Just
The
I
loop
deserve
continues
it.
to spin,
That'll be your last one you get to put out.
but we do have some truths.
Shit, okay.
Normally, I hate putting out candles.
Not exactly sure. I'm going to have to scroll through here. I know some truths came in, but they're not showing up in my system. So just give me a second. If you survive,
Yes.
you will find one life support suit. All others have been destroyed.
Shit.
If you survive. If not, I will allow that to transfer over.
Oh, me. So that was a discovery for Ocean. Is that?
Yes,
I see,
for
I see.
Ocean. Another discovery for Ocean if you survive. And I'll bring this into play when I can. Ocean finds a letter from someone in the pit hidden on the ship. So, I'll say that that letter will be with the life support unit. The life support suit. So,
Immortality.
the loop continues to spin. Darkness creeps ever closer as we begin Chapter 8. Ocean's body, after being electrocuted, lights up the room around you in this dark space. As he falls to the ground, Vina drops him. You came to stop me. Why? Why?
He was just he was trying to stop you. I wanted to make sure that he didn't. I'm like trying to inch close to his body.
I'll allow it, since she's also just as tired and exhausted as you are. You told Winston That is the only way that he would risk. I have to finish the mission. So tell me what you do.
I'm gonna try and dig into Ocean's pocket for the sedative syringe that he has. Surreptitiously. I mean, I'm hoping she's tired enough that she's not gonna be able to.
Okay, roll. You have
Oh, wait,
three
I
d6s
don't get
and
to-
one. You
Do I still get to use this?
still get to use your hope because you succeeded your brink roll. So you're
Ah.
not crazy yet.
Not yet, baby.
Yes.
Stay down. I'm gonna use 2 hope. I got 2 ones.
Okay.
1 6, no ones.
You have 10 hope remaining. Okay. You sneak over to the side of his body as Davina loses her concentration on you, is thinking more about the mission, what she had to do. She's leaned back up to the panel at this point. As she's using her device to try to send some sort of information over, you're able to reach and grab the sedative that was in his pocket.
Okay.
Now, what would you like to do with that?
I'm
Hi.
going to try and sneak up behind her and just jam the sedative in wherever I can.
Okay. Roll for that.
Tight.
Okay, not great. Okay, I'm gonna use 3 hope.
Do you have any 6s?
I did not.
Okay.
One 6, no ones.
This might be the biggest actions to ever succeed this late in a story. As you jam the sedative, she recognizes what you've done. As she feels it coursing through her veins. No other option. I don't have time. As you see her hand hit some button
No.
on the device, and it falls to the ground. As she falls and kind of into your arms, I just wanted to make a difference. And Shiloh did so much for me. As she passes out in your arms. You're continuing to lose energy. The oxygen in the air continues to thin. But the ship stays online.
I want to see if I can. I'm gonna check to see if Ocean's dead.
Okay. I'm glad you asked it that way. I'm going to have you roll
Oh,
to see what you discover.
okay. Wow. I am so maybe sorry for what might happen.
Oh wait, which one was? Oh,
No,
fuck.
this one. Okay, I didn't roll any 6s, so I'm gonna. How many hope left do we have? 10.
7.
7. I'm gonna use 3. No.
You have one more option.
What?
Your brink. You can use your brink as many times as you
Until
want
it's
until
gone?
it fails.
Oh my god. Okay. And I can only roll 3, right? I can't use my hope.
Correct.
Look at you holding those two things. You want to burn it so bad. Okay, I'll burn my brink trying to save Ocean.
Sorry.
Oh my god. I need this.
We need this.
No! Oh my god.
So, what was your result?
You know what our result was.
We got all 6s. What do you think it was?
Is
Oh.
this the end of the volume?
Oh my god.
I mean, I did, and she's just
and
looking.
I'm just insane. I did not. I rolled a 2, a 3, and a 5.
You go to check his pulse. It's fading. His eyes kind of open. With the lack of oxygen and his current predicament, it's not enough to keep him up as he's fading fast.
Since I'm alive, can I point to the life support suit that I see?
That was a truth about you finding it, so I will say yes. You see his hand outreach as it points to something behind Davina in the engineering room. There's a box. As you trace his finger, the box says life support.
Alright, tell her to put it on. I say, put it on. Put it
Oh,
on.
shit.
It's only one.
I'm gonna crawl over to the.
You start
Box.
crawling over to the box as you see his hand drop
No.
and his eyes go
No.
distant. As you crawl over, getting more and more tired, this box, it's got a key code on it. Now, given that the candle is already out,
Oh shit.
I'm going to say, for the sake of story, you type in your number. And it opens. As it opens, you see inside a suit, a notebook, this notebook says Jenna Anna on it. You know that that's where you came from. Your bloodline. In these notes, you see that there's pages and pages of written information. And you start glancing at a couple pages quickly before putting on the suit. You see that she was supposed to be on this ship. That she trained for it. Prepared for it. That she had accepted that for this all to continue, the rest of humanity had to die. That you never fully understood exactly what happened. And just from this quick glance, you understand. Humanity's already dead to get you here, where you are, in this moment. You are all that remains, as everyone died to power this ship through time. The pressure is too much for you to handle. And as you begin to put on this suit, you lose it. What little bit of yourself that you held on to, It sinks in. You are humanity.
I can't.
The last sole member of the human race. As the candle goes out, the loop continues to spin. There's one truth that will go into effect somehow on the next turn. I'll say it'll probably right at the start. That Thistle finds a collection of notes written throughout the journey by the BW line, all referencing this over and over again. I would also like to ask the mods and the viewers how far we are from our current goal in that giveaway. If you could let me know in the chat, that would be awesome. As we get very close to the end here of our journey. We are 225 away
Ooh.
Ooh.
from reaching our goal.
Immortality.
Oh, I realize at this point they're not going to give you hope because I realize that it's really hard to maximize that hope. Somebody just did. I'm nervous somebody's going to give a GM power that...
GM, immortality.
No, I wouldn't let that happen.
Mm.
But at the same time, I challenge you, chat. What do you got that I can't roll with? 2 candles left. So, darkness creeps ever closer as we begin Chapter 9. As the life support kicks in and the seal, you feel oxygen return to your lungs. Through the bubbled glass and lights that surround you now, 2 little flashlights on the side of your helmet point out at the dark ground where you see Davina's body taking its last grasps for air. Ocean's body. Dead. Motionless. As you look around the room with your headlamps, you notice a couple more boxes. You're still holding the notebook in your hand. You see another box that's been busted open. BW is written on the boxes. Inside is a collection of reports passed down through the generations, notes. All of them reveal that the BWs have always been spoken to by this. Now, what strikes you as odd and is hard for you to comprehend, if these notes were collected, if the SP line, through their psychological evaluations, were aware, why was this a surprise? Why did it continue? This has always been on the ship. And the ship always knew about it. Or at least some of them did.
The ship always knew. Then we were this was always here. We were always this whole you're the last one. Okay.
Now, this'll. I need to make, or at least you need to make a proactive decision. This is me as the GM.
Mm-hmm.
What would you, in all your hopelessness, like to do next?
I need to end all of this. I want to crash the ship into the asteroid.
Okay, so you're going to try to crash the ship. How do you plan on doing that? And how would you like to set forward on this thought?
So I want to go over to the, so Davina was like working at a panel, right?
Yes.
I want to go over and see if I can make any sense of anything that's on that panel.
Given your current state of mind, not much of it makes too much sense. Now, I will say, it doesn't appear that Davina was able to upload her consciousness and reboot the ship. Systems are still online, the engines still run, you can feel the hum of the engines under your feet. But something was activated.
Okay.
Something was turned on. But if you want to know what that is, you'd have to roll for it. And I don't know if it... given how few candles and dice remain, I need you to be really clear on what you want to do and how you want to try to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because distractions from that will be very hard to achieve.
I'm going to, do I know where, like, someone would, like, where is there is there a pilot's seat or pilot's chair in this ship at all?
There is not. You'll notice in the schematics of the ship, there's not even a place to pilot the ship as it is completely run off artificial intelligence. The only place to go, and I would say you would know this because you've been there before, is where Node's hiding spot was, in the server room.
Okay. I'm gonna go there.
So as you walk out of this room and make your way down the hall, as you're walking, circles of blood start to draw themselves on the walls around you. With each footstep, you hear the puddle sound of blood beneath your feet. As you look down, you see none.
Oh, good, we're playing this game again.
As you walk, you start to pass through all those you've lost on this journey. As their bodies rot before your eyes, accelerated, as their flesh grows dark and blue. The meat deteriorates off their bones. At each step you take, it's as if time itself is passing through their bodies. You can't see your hands in the suit,
Am I?
but as you walk, you start to feel weight of your body more than you used to. As you enter the elevator, the lift of your arm, more of a struggle than it once was, your breath labored. And as the elevator opens, now remember, do you remember how to access this this location?
Isn't it through a crawl space? Oh, that's gonna be tough.
You're going to have to crawl through the top of the elevator and crawl. You know, for the sake of story, I'm going to say that that happens. As you stop the elevator on the 3rd level, just before getting to it, you crawl through the top. And you start to make your way through this crawl space. The voices.
Shh.
Stop.
Shh. Shh.
Just stop.
No, you stop. You stop. Stop.
This can't continue.
This can't-
Stop. Just give up. Just die. Die.
No, wait. No, I don't want to die yet.
As you continue to crawl. As you say this, it's labored, it's hard. As you crawl into the room, the makeshift lights that Note had set up, one of them reflects off your helmet. And the light reflecting off the helmet for a brief moment creates a mirror within the glass. As you see your own face.
No.
Old,
No.
wrinkled. The face of Granny, or is it your own?
Shut up. Stop it. Shut up.
As you crawl and fall into server space, the body of Sparks sits in the corner, legs out towards you, kind of leaned up against the wall, but head facing back into the corner.
Oh, Sparks.
What are you doing? What are you trying to do? Just give up.
No.
Just stop. Just let it happen. It doesn't matter.
No. I only have. What do I have? Purpose.
You don't even know anymore, do you?
I have me.
Who you are.
No,
What you are.
I'm me. I'm.
What you were.
No.
The book.
As you look down, you see you're still holding on to the book of Jinnah Anah.
You. And your father. Well, the real you. Destroyed humanity. For what?
That wasn't me.
Revenge?
That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
All because Shiloh's little baby girl was taken from him? By things he didn't understand. He still doesn't understand.
Shut up! I want to throw the book at Sparks' form.
As you throw it, and it hits her head falls off the body and rolls on the ground as it stops, and then rolls over to reveal her blood-soaked eyes.
He just couldn't live with his little baby girl being gone. But then he had you. Another little baby girl. Did he prop you up like Clarity? No. He used you. She was the only one that ever mattered. That's why she's in those tubes and not you.
That's not me. I am not. I'm Thistle. I'm me. I'm different. I have my life and my purpose.
It doesn't matter. Just give up.
Shut up. Shut up. I'm gonna try and make my way towards What's in the room?
So inside this room are just stacks of servers.
Okay.
It's the general kind of AI command of the ship. But you do notice as you look around that Node had pulled a couple things out with access panels on them. Probably how Node was affecting parts of the ship, getting around without being seen.
Okay. I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna start yanking some stuff out.
Roll.
I'm gonna yank like something next to what's already been yanked out. Oh no, I can't roll that. Dang.
You have 2d6s.
But you could use hope as well.
All right. I'm gonna use 2 hope if I can.
Yes,
Okay,
you
great.
may.
Failed. 2 5s.
As you start ripping things out, you just start pulling on things.
What are you doing? Stop. 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 Stop.
As Winston just keeps repeating stop, stop, stop over the ship's intercom. You hear the ship disengage as Winston shuts down the ship.
Stop. Stop. Stop.
As Winston's own systems start to go offline, as you're pulling things out, you look over at one of the access panels. You see outside the ship. Outside the ship, the camera's looking out. Reveal Phobos. The ship has gotten extremely close. This creature, awoken out of the rock, hovers over the ship, but it doesn't look at the ship, almost as if it couldn't be bothered, as its long tentacles move throughout space. And as one tentacle rises, so large and effortless, it begins to create a black hole in space itself. As the ship is moving closer and closer to this hole, you feel all of the power within the ship go out as you just continue your blind rage. Pull, pull, pull. As Spark's head laughs on the ground.
We did it.
You did it.
You did it. You did it. You did it.
As it disappears, a light goes out. One candle remains. As we begin the final chapter, chapter 10. As you're sucked into the black hole, you feel time itself warping and shaping around you. As the ship begins to shake, Your suit moving. You can hear the rattle of the ship, of your helmet, your head inside. As you hold on to whatever you can inside the room, you realize now as you look around, there are no bodies. There's nothing else. There's just this room. There's just you, and everything is shaking. As you feel it pulling you through, it's as if every fiber of your being is being ripped apart at an atomic level, a pain so intense that you have never felt at any point in your life, almost as if you can imagine being born. I need you to roll to see if you survive what happens. You will basically have, and you know, I'm feeling generous.
Use up all the hope.
I will allow you to either
Oh my god.
use all the hope, or when you fail, decide to leave the hope for giveaways for the chat.
That is not feeling generous, Zach.
How much
you are
hope is there?
pitting me
Just curious.
against the chat.
How much hope is there?
There's
much hope
8
is
hope.
And then what? How does that translate to giveaways? Is it like per?
Per hope remaining.
Can I see what the chat is saying? In terms of what
Oh,
they
of course
want?
they're saying use it. They're saying to use it.
Okay.
I don't know. Do I have to decide right now if I'm going to use all of it? Can I like?
Yeah.
Either
use
you
however
decide-
many?
Either
Let's
you
use it.
decide
Use it.
to
It's
use
It's a trap. Kappa.
the one that I would allow you to use, which would mean you'd get 2 chances to roll a 6. Or you could decide now to use all of it and you would get 9 opportunities to try and roll a 6.
Can't I use like 4 of them?
No. One or the other.
Mike Jen, tell her to use it. It's unanimous. Is everyone saying use it? Immortality!
Okay. You know what? If you guys are willing to give me immortality forever,
use it,
then
use
I.
It's super unanimous. Everyone says
Fuck,
use
really?
it. Yeah, look. use it. Do it. Use it. There's everyone is saying to use it.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah, everyone says to use it.
I'll use it. I'll use
Okay.
it. It's what the
Hyper
chat
G
wants.
says to use it.
You have 9
Use it
chances.
for immortality.
9 chances
All right,
to
putting it
roll
away
a
now.
6.
You can obviously do it. It's like rolling 9 dice, but just keep on rolling until you get a 6.
Okay.
She gets a 6 on her first one. Hilarious.
Hilarious. That would be so horrible. Okay.
Okay.
1,
That was
That was
cocked.
cocked, yeah.
2,
You
Okay.
are serious?
Okay,
2.
he's counting.
3, 4, 5,
Come on.
Oh my god, how many? With there's 9, right? You got 4 left.
6.
Oh my god, come
Oh
on.
my
You
God,
got
oh my
3
God.
chances to use it. Come on!
7.
Why is it so many fives?
Wait. Take time and you have
You
to
have
believe
2
Believe
more rolls remaining.
it. Bacon Boy believes it.
Do not bring up his name.
Come on, you got
My
this.
heart is racing. Okay.
Wait, just actually believe it before you
I
roll
believe it. I
Okay.
believe it.
You got this. You got this.
I don't think you
I
do.
see a 6. I see a 6.
You got this.
I see a 6. Okay.
Let's go. 6! Ah, Jesus. Okay.
8. You have 1 die remaining.
Okay. 6. Land like this.
Go.
Okay.
Got this. Can I roll it with you?
Sure. Let's roll it together.
Okay. Look, let's put it up here and then let's drop it.
Okay.
I hope it's a 6. 6! Ah. Sorry, I take that. It was a 6.
It was a 3.
Sorry.
For a brief moment, the rattling stops. But the pressure has now begun, and the heat that you start to feel coming through your suit. Rattle comes back, and you recognize this pressure in the books, the things you've read. It's gravity. As the force is pushing you so fierce against the wall, you start to feel your chest, now old and brittle, begin to collapse from the pressure. as you feel your lungs punctured by your ribs, blood floating into your suit. And then an impact so intense, you remember nothing else, and that's it. Darkness. As you awake in the all-white room, you see the 10 members from the photo before, as the same man walks forward with his arm reaching out. As he grabs your hand, he whispers, "The loop continues to spin." As you fade to white, in the town of Kolob, a great crash has occurred. A young woman by the name of Clarity awakes first, moments before the crash. She felt it coming, its presence. Crash hits. Everyone in town knows shift change was just about to happen, and all the miners were up at the mine. It appeared to be a meteorite, something of the sort. Clarity and her father, Shiloh and Na, run up the mountain with the rest of the members of town to check on their loved ones. Through the debris, they see a ship. They don't understand that it's a ship, but a large piece of metal on top of the mine. A door on the side of the ship opens. And Clarity walks out, not once, not twice, but 10 times. As these 10 young women now stand on the edge of this hill, Shiloh drops to his knees. God. As he begins to pray. And the rest of the town follows suit. And that is where we will end 10 Candles. To find out what happens next, you'll have to watch my next show whenever it starts. That takes place in Kolob in 1997.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
Nice. Oh my god, that's the end of the 10 Candles journey.
It's done.
Wow, I can't believe it.
It's over.
What
It's over.
wonderful journey. What a haunting and
The
sad
loop
and
remains
scary journey.
open.
Fantastic.
Good times.
Really good. Really
Yeah.
awesome.
Really good.
Thank
really
you two.
good.
Thank you.
I know
man.
we ended on a
Yeah.
really emotional note, so it's kind of like hard to be like, yeah. But
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
let's go through these donations
Yes.
and talk to the chat a little bit. We have some time
Nice.
to answer some questions, and if you guys want to pull up chat as well.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Yay! Thanks, Zach. Thanks, guys. Thanks,
Seriously,
Kelly.
thanks, guys. Thanks so much, Zach. Thank you so much, Mike.
Thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks, Mike.
I'm so glad too that we got to finish this last volume with who was here to start it
Yes.
as well, because this show is all about cycles and loops and destiny and all those kinds of things. So
Oopsie.
it was great to be able to finish it out
Indeed.
that way. Okay,
Zachary.
so Mexican.
Oh, God.
I just heard myself say thanks,
Oh my God.
guys.
Stop. Mute.
I can't believe that chat spirit bomb didn't work. Yeah, I know, right?
I know.
Say what? Oh.
That would have been awesome. Ah.
Oh, another GM came through.
Oh, what?
I've. So before we begin our next show,
Yeah.
and this chapter of the story ends,
Yeah.
these things are true.
Okay.
The world is still dark.
Mm.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's the tin candles. Yeah.
Okay.
Think before every story and a normal tin candles.
So first I want to thank Desponia for the flashback.
Did you do a flashback?
At the very beginning,
Oh,
I,
yeah, that's
I
right.
dove
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
Davina's
Okay, yeah,
backstory a
that's
little
right.
bit.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks.
Sponya.
Oh, you know what? I may have missed a flashback for you two.
So I guess we're.
There's
Let's
so
just
much
get into
stuff coming
character
in.
right now.
Let's
Character.
Oh, we could do it. Yeah, it's like a post credit.
We'll do that at the very end. We'll do
Post
a.
credits button.
Yeah. It was really hard for me to read tonight, so
It's
I had a hard
okay.
time looking down and seeing stuff. Okay. So,
Epilogue. Yeah, exactly.
Epilogue for sure.
first,
Epilogue.
Fegs252 gave some hope, as
Thanks,
always. So thank you,
Fegs.
Fegs.
Thank
And thank you,
Yeah.
Fegs. I know Fegs can't watch live and watches the VODs. Fegs gave 3 hope every single week of the show
Really?
earlier in the
Fegs,
day.
man.
So thank you,
Wow.
Fegs,
Dude,
so
I
much.
appreciate you.
Mexican Robin built
bro.
up for the GM of with the latest kill, JR doesn't trust Davina and thinks maybe Winston is the best way to save the world.
Yeah, I put some faith into it based on that. I didn't get much in return.
I mean, the dice do what the dice do.
The dice fall as they
Yeah,
may.
no, but I did. I was trying to do some justice to it. So.
PR Fan 2002, your final hope, good luck.
Oh, thanks.
Gaika helped
Thanks,
out
man.
towards Mexican Robin's GM power.
Thanks,
Thank
Gaika.
you, thank
Hi-Res
you.
Mikey said hope.
Here's
to-
Mikey. You keep on mispronouncing it as here's Mikey.
It's here's Mikey.
Yeah.
What are you? What is he saying?
Hi, Riz.
Hi-Res Mikey, here's to a great RPG.
I tried. Here's Mikey. I said I'd try.
My favorite moment is how I got a good, clear picture from Charlie Chimp. I love that volume.
Oh, which one was it? Sorry.
Charlie Chimp?
Yeah, but which was the moment? What was the moment?
Just that it got such a good, clear picture
Oh,
from
okay.
Charlie Chimp.
Okay, cool.
Gaika, Truth, Discovery. Ocean finds a letter from the pit
Yes.
that we ended up turning into a Jenna and Na.
Yeah. Yes.
Mr.
Nice.
Fantasy tipped with immortality. Hashtag hope.
Yay.
My favorite moment.
Immortality.
Mr. Fantasy said, my favorite moment is when Kelly's character went insane in the first volume of The
Nice.
Woods.
Yeah. That was good.
It happened so quickly.
Q Gikui. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong.
Bacon boy.
This can go to any
Big
truths,
boy.
GM power, or hopes. Thank you so much for all your hard work on this amazing show.
Thanks, man.
Logan Pars says, hope, favorite moment, the reveal in Charlie Chimp that they're in the middle of the ocean and that there's nowhere for them to go.
Yes, Logan Paz.
Game of Joe B said, my favorite moment were the times that a player action would give Zach a big evil grin. That grin would freak out the player and make them second guess their action. Flash grenading an angry mob comes to mind as an example.
Yep.
Hashtag hope.
Nice. Love to
Winston said, my favorite Mr. Chris Villian, thank you. Chris Villain, thank you for the host.
see. The villains are here.
The villains are here.
What's up, man?
Um,
What's up, dudes?
Stop, bruh.
Winston EXE says, my favorite volume of Tin Candles was the cold for somewhat obvious reasons. However, my favorite moment is when Kate's character Davina died. Also, my GM power for that volume still makes me happy.
Nice.
RJ Canuck gave some hope. Mr. Owl said flashback for Kelly Thistle, so that's the one I missed. And then Not Gaia
Yeah,
gave a
thank you,
flashback for
RJ.
Ocean.
Mhm.
I missed both of those. I apologize greatly.
Mhm.
Assassinopolis, thank you for the subscription.
Woo.
Thanks for the
Shadow
sub.
Uzumaki says, Start of a Hope, Tin Candles has become my favorite show. My favorite is the general paranoid atmosphere Cast and Zach managed to create during Charlie Chimp. My other fave is a
Nice.
creepy small town feel in the town. Also, December. Silverton, there are so many good moments to call one my favorite, but one that comes to mind is when October Baby merged with an angry Davina.
Yes.
Masalko gave that discovery of the life support suit,
Thanks, man.
which ended up coming in really handy.
Yeah, very
for not-
helpful.
yeah.
Sepoin,
unfortunately, I died.
Thistle finds a collection of notes written throughout the journey by the BW line, all referencing this over and over again. Were they ever sane? Rage Cage, Hope for the Hopeless. Pinwiz11, this is so tense. J Pistol, Hope. This donated a flashback for Thistle. I missed that one. Fuck, how did I miss these? Kiyu Geekua said this can go to a GM Power. Orion Power 2001. Hope with no sanity. Kelly will need this. Thanks for a great run, everyone.
Thank you.
And chat
Thank you.
donated for me to give that final line at the end.
Yay.
And then Fish God donated $5 saying the flying fish will return. They won't. Eventually, the flying fish will realize that sometimes when no one responds to a bit, it's because that bit needs to die. So, thank you all so much for your contributions
Shanko.
and your impact on the show that got us this far. So many things that the chat threw changed the story. And the fun thing is, there were about 100 different ways this final volume could go. I mean, I told Mike and Kelly before the show today, they were like, is there anything you expect? It's like, no, this could go any way. At this point, all the cards are on the table. However the dice fall, however the chat pushes it, however you guys as characters push it.
I wanted to talk to Phobos.
And the really fun thing for me is I didn't tell anyone this or you guys, but whatever happened at the end of this show is going to set up what happens on my next show. And because technically the loop was broken, technically the loop as you knew it,
Yeah.
because you didn't destroy Phobos, a new history has begun.
Wow. So that's cool.
That's cool.
But how will the town of Kolob respond to a mystical thing falling from the sky?
That's better than like the same loop.
Yeah.
Going into
Gets
your
to have its
one.
own story.
Yeah.
Whether or not that loop has any part of Phobos on it. None of the creature came through the portals.
Yes,
Phobos
Matt.
was not destroyed. So, no parts of Phobos were destroyed and sent out throughout history.
Yeah.
But you do have a ship with extremely advanced AI.
Yeah.
10 clones of the woman from the local preacher in town's daughter. And
So does the loop remain
we'll see
open?
what that means. No, it's, I mean, the
Did you
loop,
just said no, so it's closed?
technically,
It is closed.
from a technical standpoint, Phobos was not killed.
Yes.
So, Phobos never interacts with Earth.
Yes.
But a small piece of this just may.
Ah.
We should have blown ourselves up.
Huh? Yes. So,
I'm gonna say we
did
close
they
the
already
loop,
do the
though.
giveaway? So we're going to do a giveaway right now,
So
everybody.
we close the loop because you said technically yes.
Oh, technically, the loop cannot continue again because there will be no reason to continue the loop.
So the loop is closed.
Close is the wrong word.
You said technically it is.
From a technical standpoint, it will
You
not
said.
continue. So that loop is closed.
So
That
yes, it is closed.
specific loop. But
Okay.
now
So yes,
we're
the
in a
loop is
new
closed.
linear timeline.
Yes, yes,
Right.
yes. It's
Yes,
going to
yes,
be a
yes.
new loop. You basically say, but
Well,
that
not a
loop is
loop.
closed. Okay,
It's
okay.
not a loop
so
now.
The
It's linear.
Okay, but the previous loop that was a loop is closed.
Right.
Yay, we closed the loop!
If you had succeeded in destroying Phobos, everything would have continued happening as it had always had.
Yes.
The destruction of
I
Phobos
know it though.
would have sent
You
Phobos
knew it.
through
You
the black
totally
hole.
knew it.
I know it. Yes, that's why I was like trying to get there, like trying to not kill him.
It would have sent Phobos
We
through the black
closed the
hole,
loop.
landing in the different parts throughout history,
Wow.
and trying to reclaim and regain
Yes.
itself.
So the loop is closed.
Wow.
Hashtag close the loop. We did
Hashtag
it.
close the loop.
Finally.
There were so many
Finally.
more things you could have learned about Phobos, but we might save that for another journey, another time, another thing.
Yes, hashtag close
Um,
we did
Yes,
it.
hashtag close the loop. Hashtag we did it. Hashtag Team Blue.
Hashtag Bacon Boy, hashtag immortality.
Bacon
And
Boys
as some
immortal.
people in the chat assumed, you succeeded by failing.
Yay!
A lot of people in the chat were assuming that the only way to succeed on the show is to fail, because that's what the system is. The system's built around accepting failure, and so that was basically the only way to succeed was to fail.
Wow.
Now, knowing that could have gone, you could have technically destroyed Phobos. It could have happened.
Right. No, I did actually.
I left that open as a possibility if the rolls were in your favor. If you figured out a plan and you worked it out, it could easily have happened.
Right.
The thing that was going to be interesting is however you destroyed Phobos and the conditions of the ship, or not destroyed Phobos and things that happened would dictate what happened in Kolob in the past and what will then change the world in the future. So no matter what, the world would still be a little different going forward.
Yeah, cool.
And it was just depending on how this show ended was going to dictate how the next show starts.
Right. I mean,
which is why I can't start it immediately next week, is because I'm going to have to write now.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't planning on having the 10 Clarities survive. Originally, I was going to have the 10 Clarities actually fight against you to try and make sure that the mission was completed, and representing the 10 candles in the final volume.
10 clarities, 10 candles.
Cool. No, I did actually, regardless how it ended, I did kind of want to close the loop because there was so much about that. I feel like that, regardless of whatever ending, like just closing it would have been a good ending. Just because, in my mind, that was like the journey of 10 candles, you know, closing the loop kind of thing. And as long as we close it, then that was a success in a way, kind of thing. And I figured, I didn't even know, but I did guess that like, keeping him alive would have been closing it, because like I said, my character said it was like, yeah, if he's on a space rock hurtling throughout space, I feel like the first explosion of killing him is what intertwined the two destinies of humanity and the god, and if they left it, then they'd just go by past each other kind of thing.
Now, whether or not this survived any of that impact,
that's another matter.
I haven't decided yet, because I did want to make sure that like by changing history, like that part, like by the body disappearing in that room before you died, I was trying to symbolize that there's a really good chance that by the act of changing history, this wasn't on the ship anymore, and the visions disappeared. So I'm thinking it's gonna be more fun for me to explore, whereas in the past it was like, how does humanity react to this mythical being that is dictating everyone's fears? And I feel like the next volume it's going to be more, how did humanity react to technology and things they didn't understand from a technological standpoint instead of a mystical standpoint, and just
I feel like probably with no amounts of fear or
probably
misplaced anger.
No, when you have 10 women all land on Earth that look exactly like another woman, totally not.
Like no like witch hunty type stuff.
Yeah, definitely not. Well, it does help that it's the daughter of the preacher, and
wait, this was in 1997, right?
No, it didn't land in 1997.
No, sorry. When your one starts, it's gonna be in
the 90s.
Okay,
Can you have like one episode that's like hilarious, where like two of the Clarities switch places, and then it's like, oh, can we like one of the Clarities is like, my life is harder. The
Clarities
other
won't be.
My life is harder. And then they trade.
Those clones won't live to 1997.
Unless they use their technology on the ship to.
Well, I mean, who knows? But the reason I really wanted to set it, there's a reason I want to do it in the 90s. I feel like the 90s are one of the most fun times to tell stories.
Yes.
Because it's kind of the end of the isolation age, where it still felt like there was discovery around every corner outside your front door before the globalization and information age kicked in at full blast.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you were just on the cusp of really big things happening that was going to open every small town in the world to every other small town in the world, but it hadn't happened just yet. So you were still just cut off enough, knowing that this stuff exists, but just cut off enough to still have every town as its own microcosm to a huge extent. And every town is very different based on who came before them and who came before them and who came before then, but just on the cusp of breaking out of it. And nobody likes having cell phones and stories.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes things so much better.
Hey, Zach, can we talk about like 10 Candles, and like what was your favorite volume and which was your favorite moment in all of the volumes? 2 questions. 2-part question. What was your favorite volume that you enjoyed, just like you enjoyed?
Oh, enjoying GMing was definitely Charlie Chimp.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Being able to introduce some new mechanics to
Yep.
kind of play with you guys, because the whole reason Charlie Chimp existed is because you all had become too comfortable as players. You guys had become a little too complacent with the mechanics, and the volume before you weren't respecting the fear of the dice enough. So I needed to create a situation that would make you guys, as the players, more aware that you're not in control, anything can happen, and it's still hopeless.
Yeah.
And it was fun to try to think of ways to do that through mechanics and not
Nice.
through story. So adding the timer and
How about-
things like that.
How about
yeah.
your favorite, from a point of view of story, which was your favorite story out of the volumes, the different volumes, story-wise, which was your favorite story?
I mean, I don't know if I have a favorite, but I do have a least favorite.
Okay.
I actually think least favorite
Mm-hmm.
was the second to last one in Kolob in the past. For me.
Oh, okay. Why?
Because whereas every other volume it felt like anything could happen,
Yeah.
because we went back in the past in that one,
Mm-hmm.
I felt locked. And I didn't
Oh.
like that. And I like that in the final volume, it's not locked anymore. And
You mean like the ending had to be in a way where it's set up kind of how it was? Is that what you meant? Like
well,
it didn't-
because we'd already done everything else. Like, in all honesty, I should have done that one first or second second. Because I would have had more freedom as a storyteller.
Yeah.
But by putting it then, I didn't like how I, as the GM, was more locked to the story we had created.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I remember in that final episode that even afterwards telling you guys, like, I felt trapped.
You,
And I didn't like that. I didn't
didn't-
like that at all.
Yeah, because it didn't end. It didn't. You didn't color all the candles. You kind
No,
of
couldn't even do that.
The story. I mean, but it wasn't about that. Like I felt like, yeah, the story ended at a great place before all the candles went.
Yeah, and it was...
But it ended perfectly still. There was just mechanic-wise there was 2 candles, but who gave a shit? Really?
Right, yeah. And having that prequel tied so much to what comes after, it really locked me in. I liked everything else a lot. That was just probably my least favorite.
Have a favorite moment?
Yeah, like what about a moment that, like when you're like, dang, I'm like killing it with the creepy atmosphere right now.
Yeah. Like
You don't have any that stand out to you?
a moment, Zach. We want to hear.
We want to hear you talk about things you're proud of.
I don't really do that.
I know.
But did you have a moment or no?
You don't have any?
I'm trying to think.
Or that you felt like maybe, just to take some of the onus off of you, maybe everyone was like you're just like, oh, we're so in it right now.
I mean, I feel like every
that, a Bigfoot?
volume...
Yeah, probably.
I feel like every volume there was always a moment where it felt like everyone was so in sync with the horror in front of them. There, like every volume always had at least one really good scene where it was just like everyone was in it and everything kind of like ting ting ting. Like my brain enjoyed some of the like apocalyptic moments of synchronicity so much.
Okay.
Of like imagining the world at that point and the deities starting to come back together and sending out these giant waves of destruction as you stand in the doorway and your body gets ripped apart.
Yes,
like
I remember that.
those things were really fun to imagine
Yeah.
and to think like a grander, big scale.
Yeah.
But some of the really small moments were really great too. And I mean, part of the reason I'm doing the entire next show in Kolob is because the town is more my comfort zone.
That
Like
was my favorite,
that's
actually.
my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like a small town with weird absurdity going on is
Yeah.
like second nature. So
Yeah.
that and the woods were both like second nature for
Oh.
me. So
Town was my favorite. Cold was my second favorite. I enjoyed the cold. Do you have a favorite guest? Who's your favorite guest?
I'm not gonna do that.
Why would you ask him
No,
that?
I
gonna
I
do
didn't
that.
think he was going to, but I just want to put it out.
Just like rank them from least to most favorite.
Oh,
I didn't think he would.
Start with Kelly.
I just wanted to put it out.
easy, Mike.
I was like the guest over 10 volumes.
Oh my god, you're so evil.
I like Sir Hinky, I'll say, because I'm not hyper IG, but Sir Hinky was really good. I really like Sir Hinky. Because, yeah, he did really well.
I'm trying to find my piece of paper here. I had a piece.
Besides Cully, of course.
Oh,
Besides
that's fine.
Cully.
That's fine.
Oh
Besides
yeah,
Cully.
yeah.
Thank
Almost
you,
every
thank you, thank you.
almost every volume, there's like a piece of paper that says "Kill Mike" on it. You'll
So
do
he was good though.
you'll do something, or you'll start chewing on something, or you'll throw something, and I'll just
Burn
write.
Mike.
I'll write subconsciously on here, "Kill Mike."
It's like when he's like, "Can I eat this pizza during the show?" And you're like, "Kill Mike."
No, Mike, you've been great. Everybody on the show has been so much fun to work with, and
Yeah.
I really
I've
enjoy.
enjoyed everyone's been good though. Like that's the thing. Everyone has been good. All
Yeah.
of the guests. Everyone has been good.
And I would say, as a cat, like I obviously have only ever played with the main cast,
Yeah.
but I just felt like everyone was really good at taking it seriously and not, winky at the camera, which is. We only do that when we're asking for immortality, baby.
No, I mean, and that was the
But,
point of the show, and I'm so glad we were able to achieve that. And honestly, like, if people were, and I know a lot of people in the audience do this, so you're gonna know, after Vanquished, I almost told myself, I'm never GMing again.
What happened?
I'm done.
What happened?
And to come back
No.
from Vanquished, I needed to create a situation where it's like, okay, I have to use a system to allow myself to be able to tell really big stories, but keep everyone locked in.
Oh, is it just a
Well,
hold
I think it's
writing.
because you're like really good at not only large stories, but you
Yeah.
do like you're good with characters too.
Well, and I don't want someone to take that the wrong way. I still really love Vanquished. I mean, at the end of it, I felt like the show had become less about story and more about trolling each other. And that's not what I ever wanted. It just had become that. It ended up by the end of it just being like, who can make me, the GM's life the most difficult as the players were concerned. And some of them got to really like finish their stories in unique ways. But the amount of moments in each episode where it would be kind of like ripped out of that moment for a troll, it can make it a really fun thing to watch. But when you're trying to tell a really serious story, it can really like be hard to snap back and forth and come out of it being like, fuck, like, are we getting there? Are we telling this like the story, And this was kind of an experiment to see like, well, can we do that?
Did we?
Because as our audience, I think the audience would say yes. Like, now we're trying to set up shows on the channel a little bit more like, this show is for this purpose, and this show is for this purpose, and this show is for this purpose, and have more clearly defined lines of what each show's trying to be. Because I think when we were in that kind of in-between space, I can imagine if I was frustrated as a GM, viewers were frustrated too. Because you'd have moments that were just like, would hit the nail on the head like so fucking good, and then next thing you know, it was like the weirdest and trolliest thing ever. And not to say that, like, I love everyone on that show so much, and we had a great time doing that show. It was just more like I recognized we got to figure out a way to not do that. So now we have shows like Troll Hunters, where it's literally like, this is about trolling each other.
You can
and-
exercise your
yeah.
demons there.
Yeah.
I think like and I know that I always like, I just always bring like improv teachings into everything I say.
Go.
Which is very old hat when it comes to me. But I feel like, when you're trying to tell a story and like your goal should be to make everybody else look really good.
Yeah.
And if everybody's doing that, even as like I feel like the stuff that super succeeded with the stuff from the chat was like stuff that was like, I want to make these people look really good.
Oh, yeah.
And like that's when like high tide rises all boats. Like everyone.
Yeah.
And I would try to help, and I would love sometime actually, like, I wonder if we could have a show sometime that's like you and Matt and some other like really strong improv performers that we work with, because we work with so many, to actually coach the chat a little bit too on how we do what we do here and how it works and how you've grown and those things, because there was a lot of education for me and chat on this show in the sense of talking to them a lot offline. And I think that's a really good point. I know what I want, but I don't have the training to explain what I want and what's best through being able to verbalize that.
Yeah.
As a storyteller, the second something comes in, I can know that's not how you should do this. But as a person who's never been trained in those things, I don't know how to put that in words properly. And I think what you just said is a really good example of, you can say yes and at a most basic level, but there's there's a higher tier there of like supporting the players at the table, and that's when I feel like hyper is one of the coolest things on the internet, is when we're doing something and the chat throws something in there that is something I could have never thought of, that you as a character never would have thought of, and it brings such interesting life to the performance. And when you're doing that, remembering, like, if you're the person giving, it's not about you standing out. It's the same as supporting in an improv scene. You're going to stand out the most by supporting.
Yeah.
When you're trying to do something to stand out and being disruptive, flying fish, you're actually taking away from everyone. Literally everyone. Yourself, the performers, and that's not what this show is. There are shows that's different, like Troll Hunters and stuff like that. But even for Troll Hunters, you'll be funnier, and it will be a more fun experience for everyone watching and the players if you take what's already there and you amplify it. You add to it. You support. You add the comedy and you add the story on top of what they're already giving you. And then it explodes from there and creates really cool moments.
Yeah, I mean, there's like just really succinctly, if this is true, what else is true? So you can be like, okay, if this is the world these people are in, what else exists in this world? What else makes sense to exist in this world? And you guys are scene partners. Like, you guys are a scene partner
on this channel.
Yeah, you are creating. So, like, in a, you'd see a traditional improv scene, right? Like, people acting on the stage, but then there's also people creating atmosphere, like, and that can be really funny. Like, people can be like, oh, what a wonderful, like, picnic, and then someone can do, like, bird sounds, but that makes sense to make bird sounds, but you can do it in a funny way, like, oh, I guess they're, like, in the jungle or something. It still makes sense, but it's...
I think it would be fun to explore it sometime, just to, like, help, because we do so much on this channel with chat interaction, and just to help train them too on, like, how, because it's gonna, I think we have some really creative people that watch our content.
Totally.
And it's so cool whenever they come together and do something where you're like, wow, what the fuck, I would have never thought of that. And it'd be cool to kind of, like, give them some of the training we have and, like, how to get there, you know? Let's see. Do you guys have any? We're gonna have to close this down really soon.
Any questions?
So do you all have any more questions? On
general 10 candles.
And I would suggest, even more so than the wiki, I would suggest going to the Discord room and talking in the Discord room, and in that Discord room, I'll answer more questions throughout the week. I'm probably gonna lay down immediately after this show because. Just keeping up with this chat.
Can you tell us what happened to Gemma, Baker, Zach?
No.
Yay. Character physical descriptions? Oh, in the wiki.
Was there... It says, can you explain the orange? Was the orange like motif? Or is that the right one? Like a reoccurring kind of like...
It was just, I feel like there has to be recurring things to help tie the entity together. And if the essence and the, like, blood and the glow of this entity was this orange, it needed to be that way for all of them. It couldn't just be like, it had to tie together. It had to make sure that you felt as a story these things all belong together.
What does the C in Department C stand for?
Oh, Cthulhu.
Did I realize? Oh yeah, because there was a Cthulhu. I didn't know that.
Of course.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, as Kate would say, Cthulhu. Yes. I like Department C too. That was probably my third favorite one, actually. Yeah.
Oh, and please, I'm not shading on the people who do our wiki. Thank you for contributing to the wiki. I'm just saying that Discord's part of the community, and I talk in there and answer questions. So if you want questions directly from me, you can ask them on the Discord.
Will we ever hear from October again?
No. She merged with the
Thanks, Uzumaki.
in that loop, that timeline, she merged with the being at the end of synchronity, and yeah.
What was the seed Mallory was sent for?
Huh?
Oh, that's a really good question.
What was the seed Mallory was sent for?
Gemma was the seed.
The baby, yeah.
Gemma Baker, the baby.
Yeah.
Mallory was sent to the woods by Shiloh and the council.
Yeah.
The council had been trying to collect other parts of the entity for a long time, and
Yeah.
Mallory was kind of like an undercover agent for the council.
Yes.
To do that.
Yes. Yes. Do I have any questions?
Do you have any questions, Mike?
Yeah, are there any things you want answered that I wouldn't answer before? Because I know I lied to you guys about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, what was the loop? Because my understanding was, it was just a loop of events, and that the event of just kind of the.
Well, the idea was that
intertwined.
the loop itself was the
Destinies.
destruction of the creature,
Right, and then.
and when the creature wanted to live,
Yes.
wanted to close the loop because the creature was not bound by time and space.
Yes. Yeah, I
And
knew
that's
that.
why the show didn't follow a linear order.
Yeah.
Because the creature's mind and the entity itself
Yes.
did not follow linear time and space.
Right. I
This
knew that.
creature, like I said, there's a lot more that could have been learned about the creature, and we didn't necessarily
I wanted
get
to
there.
speak to it. That's
I know.
The thing. I really wanted to get by the end of it, speak to it, but I knew I didn't want to kill it because if I killed it, I feel like killing it would be the intertwining of humanity and the god, and whereas if you didn't kill it, it would have just gone separate ways, and that was my idea of the loop. But then
Yeah,
I'm glad.
the loop was kind of to the creature.
Yeah.
It was stuck in a loop.
Right.
The creature, well, not necessarily stuck. It was kind of like the creature was like bouncing around
Yeah.
throughout these different timelines, unable
Yes.
to complete itself, unable to be whole again.
Yeah.
And it wanted to be whole again. It needed to close the loop to be whole.
Yeah.
So the entity itself was manipulating different things to try to come about that.
Right,
And
right,
different
right.
parts of the entity had different ways about going about that. Some parts of the
Mm.
entity, because after they broke off and developed their own thoughts, some of them gained their own consciousness, especially the blood,
Yeah.
by merging with other creatures. The blood was less interested in becoming a part of the whole again. And it wasn't always in agreement with itself, also because it existed in different planes of time and space
Yeah.
and had different experiences that it was drawing upon. So
Another question. Do you suppose, it's probably never going to get answered, but do you suppose that the tape at the end of the town that was bound to, I'm not sure if you do remember that tape, was bound to the homeless person that went down the river towards the FBI director. Do you suppose that would have got to him eventually and then something would have come from that back to the town?
I mean, possibly, possibly,
Yeah.
but the roles weren't necessarily in people's favors. So it's like one of those things, sometimes things happen and they start to happen, but then other things happen that kind of like, well, I mean, it's a game, so we can't make everything. So it probably just...
Right. No, yeah, I mean...
It probably just got ruined and floated off into non-existence, and it was done.
Any other questions?
Like, that's one of those things where had we been in a future thing like Department C,
Yeah.
and you had brought that up, I could make you roll to see if...
Well, in Department C, it was actually at the time of when the events occurred in it, so...
A little after, just a little.
Oh, yeah, just a little after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because at the end, that was when Esme died. The events of the town is when Esme died. When it was like it had just happened. So it probably wouldn't have been recovered in time.
What would have happened if Davina didn't survive the cold, seeing as how she popped up so often? She wouldn't have popped up. I mean, that's how this show worked. It was being told as it was going. So if Davina died in the cold, Davina wouldn't have been the ship's AI at the end. That's the exciting part of building stories in RPGs instead of, say, a book or something like that. You're discovering it as you go with you, the players, the chat, all those things.
Yeah. And can I just reiterate one last time? There was not that I saw, but there was no lying on tin candles in terms of like dice rolls.
Oh no, the dice were the gods.
Yeah, there was zero dice rolling. Zero lies for dice rolling.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine. I
know,
I
I
just
like-
also like I'm very like
Yeah, I lied once on Hyper, and I lied once on the villain's Hyper.
You did not.
I did.
You
Not on 10
turd.
Kindles.
You turd.
On Hyper,
could you?
I lied, and then on the villain's episode, I lied once
I
as
would
well.
not have sat next to Mike if I had known that.
But on 10 Kindles, I never lied once, and there was no lying I ever saw, ever.
Chat's
Well,
never gonna trust you
I
again.
know. No, but I'm just saying, on 10 Candles, I never lied once throughout
Well,
the whole thing.
here's a good question
Were you
for
ever
you, Mike.
tempted to?
What?
No, never.
Here's a good question for you, Mike.
Yeah.
What's the moment that scared you the most? When were you the most scared on the show?
Scared. Scared as a character?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of times I really get into it. Like, I get shivers and I get goosebumps a lot. So I'm actually in it a lot of the times. I like the moments when you put me in those kind of warp scenarios where like you transport me into like for instance the only one that's coming to the top of my mind is like Department C, and then I went into like this other place like in space, and then you threw me to various scenarios and I was like in it kind of thing, and it was just throwing me about. That gets to me, and it was dealing with Esme as well, and there was attachment emotionally to Esme as well, and like kids burning.
Yeah.
That's the one that comes to mind, but that's when I really get into it. I'm always kind of like kind of scared when I'm in it. Even now, like during this one, there was lots of times where I was getting like I felt like the blood rushing out of my hands. I was getting goosebumps and stuff. I was getting pins and needles and stuff. So I'm always like kind of like try to get in it as much as I can. Yeah.
Nerdy Black Kid did ask, with Perception Crew getting married, what's on next? Heavy Hitters is up next. It's a really, really fun... Kelly played with us one time, and didn't you win? Oh, Matt won that
Oh
one?
my god.
Oh, wow. I just
Matt's
remember...
been sitting silently
Yeah.
over there waiting for someone to be like, Kelly, didn't you win Heavy Hitters? And he's like, it was I! No, I just lied and said I won.
Oh, okay,
But
cool.
I did come strong out from like...
Yeah, it's a really fun
So
game.
fun.
It's really fun, and you like get sponsorship. It works really great with the chat because you get sponsors, and it's basically a big mech battle game. It's really fun. That's gonna be going up at 9.
Oh,
but Matt's
okay.
about to go live right now with a couple more rounds of Magic while the crew sets up for Heavy Hitters, and I go sit down and stare at the ceiling.
Yay.
Thanks, guys. I love
Y'all are the best.
you
Thank you
guys.
so much. This
You're
has
the
been
best.
awesome.
I
Share with us on
love
social
you
media,
all.
tagging all of the people on the show, your favorite
Tag.
moments
Yeah,
from the
I'm-
show.
I'm
Please,
curious
please,
to
Yeah.
know your favorite moments.
Thank you.
And who's your
Thank
favorite
you.
guest? Not kidding.